TV7 Israel News is made possible thanks to your generous donations. Shalom, good evening. This is TV7 Israel News broadcast to you from Jerusalem. And in today's top stories, Jerusalem will not accept any violation by the Islamist Hamas and its terror affiliates to the hostage release deal outline. President Donald Trump calls on Egypt and Jordan to take in Palestinians from the Gaza Strip. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu thanks President Donald Trump for keeping his promise to give Israel the tools it requires to defend itself. Jerusalem will not accept any violation by the Islamist Hamas and its terror affiliates to the hostage release deal's outline. 2 violations were recorded on Friday when the Islamist Hamas failed to release female Israeli hostage Arbel Yehud, who per the deal's outline was supposed to be released on Saturday. Instead, Hamas exchanged Arbel with a female IDF soldier. Moreover, the internationally designated terror group Hamas did not provide a list articulating the state of the hostages that are due to be released in the first phase of the deal's outline.
Hamas failed to meet its obligations to first release Israeli female civilian hostages as part of the agreement. We are determined to return of Arbel Yehud, an Israeli citizen kidnapped from Near Oz, and also Shiri Bivas and her 2 children, Kfir and Ariel, whose welfare we are extremely concerned about.
Meanwhile, on Saturday morning, Hamas paraded the 4 IDF soldiers, publicly displaying a Hamas terror operative signing a document before handing over the female soldiers to the Red Cross, a clear attempt by the Islamist Hamas to portray itself as a victor in a charade that also showcased dozens of female Hamas operatives proclaiming victory in support of the terror group's narrative.
Today is total victory. Today is healing for the prisoners, the martyrs, and the demolished homes. Allah is sufficient for me and the best of guardians. O Lord, grant us victory over the disbelieving non-Muslim people. Victory to the resistance. Victory to the resistance. Praise be to Allah, Lord of the universe. Thank you very much, everyone who struggled and resisted for the sake of Allah, and mercy for the martyrs.
Upon arrival in Israel, the 4 released hostages were taken to Beit Son Hospital for an initial medical evaluation and treatment.
Good evening. A short while ago, we welcomed Karina, Naama, Daniela, and Liri back home to Israel at Beit Son Hospital's returnees ward. This is a moment that all of us have longed for. After an initial medical assessment, I am pleased to report that their medical condition is stable, and we are here to provide them with the necessary care and emotional support.
While the 4 released female soldiers were warmly welcomed after 477 days in Hamas captivity, IDF spokesman Rear Admiral Daniel Hagari stressed that Israel cannot and will not forget the 90 hostages, including women, children, and elderly, who still remain in brutal conditions in Hamas captivity.
Today, as part of these ongoing efforts, we welcomed home 4 more Israeli hostages after 477 days in Hamas captivity. Liri Elbag, age 19, Naama Levi, age 20, Karina Arayev, age 20, Daniela Gilboa, age 20, 4 IDF soldiers who were all abducted by Hamas from Nahal Oz on October 7th, 2023. Today, we salute and embrace them and their families as they reunite just now after so long. We cannot and will not forget the 90 hostages, including women, children, and elderly men, still remain in brutal conditions in Hamas captivity. Our mission is not over until every single hostage comes home.
It is important to stress that Jerusalem refused to allow Hamas to violate the hostage release deal with impunity. In response to the violations, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu instructed to prevent Gazan civilians from returning to the northern part of the enclave on Sunday, which effectively placed significant pressure on Hamas to adhere to the outline. Subsequently, after hours of vigorous negotiations, the Islamist Hamas succumbed to Israel's demands, as part of which the hostages Arbel Yehud, the female soldier Agam Berger, and an additional male hostage will be released this upcoming Thursday, in addition to the 3 hostages that will be released on Saturday, per the agreement's outline. Moreover, Hamas provided the list that articulates the well-being of the hostages, information that has been immediately relayed to the families of the remaining 90 Israelis in Hamas captivity.
We appreciate and thank the efforts of all international mediators, United States, Qatar, and Egypt, and we expect them to make sure Hamas stands in accordance with the agreement. IDF troops will continue to be deployed and operate and to do everything to protect the citizens of Israel.
In exchange for the release of the 4 hostages this past Saturday, Israel released 200 convicted terror operatives to Judea, Samaria, and the Gaza Strip, with over a dozen terrorists with consecutive life sentences for multiple accounts of murder of Israeli civilians, including elderly, women, children, and infants. Moreover, thousands of Gazans traveled back to the northern Gaza Strip after Israel received necessary assurances from the United States. Meanwhile, amid the start of negotiations regarding Phase 2 of the hostage release deal, U.S. President Donald Trump, while on board the presidential Air Force One, made a statement in which he stressed the necessity for Jordan and Egypt to take in Palestinian refugees from the Gaza Strip to allow for the reconstruction of the devastated enclave.
I said to him, I'd love you to take on more, because I'm looking at the whole Gaza Strip right now, and it's a mess. It's a real mess.
So you'd like Jordan to house people from Gaza?
To take people. I'd like Egypt to take people. I'm talking to General El-Sisi tomorrow, sometime, I believe. And I'd like Egypt to take people, and I'd like Jordan to take people. You're talking about probably 1.5 million people. And we just clean out that whole thing. It's it's over the centuries that's had many, many conflicts, that site. And I don't know, it's something has to happen, but it's literally a demolition site right now. Almost everything's demolished.
President Trump's remarks were immediately rejected by the Islamist Hamas, which remains convinced that it will remain the governing body in the Gaza Strip following the war.
In relation to the remarks made by new U.S. President Donald Trump about the displacement of Palestinians under any pretext, whether temporary or long-term, as used in the expressions attributed to him, I say that if the Palestinian people, while they were subjected to genocide, were not displaced or transferred from the Gaza Strip, and they remained steadfast and attached to their lands, what would prompt them to move or be displaced again after the war stopped and after what is supposed to be the reconstruction of the Gaza Strip again, and the flow of additional aid that has begun to flow into the Gaza Strip.
Alongside Hamas, Jordanian Foreign Minister Ayman Safadi rejected President Trump's proposal as well.
Our stance that the two-state solution is the path to achieving peace is firm and unwavering. Our rejection of displacement is also firm and unwavering. This is not only the steadfast and unwavering position of the kingdom, but it is also a necessity for achieving the security, stability, and peace that we all desire.
While determinedly rejecting President Trump's suggestion, Amman's top diplomat did highlight the Hashemite Kingdom's intentions to cooperate with the Trump administration on furthering Jordan's own interpretation on what they hope may ultimately force a two-state solution upon Israel.
نتطلع إلى العمل مع الإدارة الأمريكية القادمة.
We look forward to working with the incoming American administration. President Donald Trump has been clear in stating that he wants to achieve peace in the region, and in this, we are his partners. The peace we seek and that the region deserves, which ensures security and stability, is a peace that is accepted by the people, one that fulfills the rights of the people, and specifically ensures the right of the Palestinian people to live in freedom and dignity on their own national Palestinian land.
Returning to the remarks made by President Donald Trump on his presidential aircraft Air Force One, the 47th President of the United States of America confirmed that he had terminated the Biden administration's decision to withhold shipments of 2,000-pound bombs which Israel had procured. Consequently, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu responded to President Trump in a filmed statement expressing Jerusalem's deep appreciation.
Thank you, President Trump, for keeping your promise to give Israel the tools it needs to defend itself, to confront our common enemies, and to secure a future of peace and prosperity.
Thank you for watching TV7 Israel News. It is important to know that TV7 Israel is a non-profit ministry with all of our productions exclusively reliant on monthly donations. Therefore, I would like to thank all of you who proactively support TV7 Israel. And note further, if you're blessed by the content of our programs, I would like to encourage you to donate. You can do so via our website at www.tv7israelnews.com. Separately, I'd like to encourage you, pray for the peace of Jerusalem and salvation of Israel. I'm Jonathan Hassan wishing you a Shavua Mevorach, and God willing, we will see you during our next update. Until then, Shalom from Jerusalem.